Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday night, and if it is Wednesday night, we know what tonight is. It's story time. It's Wednesday night story time. It is now 6:30, officially 6:30. I'm hoping that I will not have the same problems that I had last week, and I'm hoping that pretty soon people will start popping in to say hi to me. I do see that we are live. I'm about 20 seconds in. Hopefully people will start to pop in and say hello and also be ready for a story because I have a very different story tonight. It's a short story, but it's a very nice story, and I think we can all learn something from a story like this. I hope that you all are having a good week. We had a holiday this past weekend. I hope that you enjoyed fireworks and music and food and all of that. I know I did. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the story, and I hope that you all will enjoy it. The story is called Stone Soup, and it was written by Anne McGovern, and pictures are by Winslow Piney Pells. So let's go ahead and begin our story. Young man was walking. He walked and he walked and he walked all night and he walked all day. He was tired and he was hungry. He looks really tired. At last he came to a big house. "What a fine house," he said. "There will be plenty of food for me here." And he knocked on the door. A little old lady opened it. "Good lady," said the young man, "I'm very hungry. Can you give me something to eat?" "I have nothing to give you," said the old woman. "I have nothing in the house, and I have nothing in the garden." And she began to close the door. "Stop," said the young man. "If you will give me something to eat, if you will not give me something to eat, will you give me a stone?" What an odd thing to ask for. "A stone?" said the little old lady. "What will you do with a stone?" You cannot eat a stone." "Ah," said the young man, "I can make soup with a stone." Now the little old lady had never heard of that. Make soup from a stone? Fancy that. "There are stones in the road," said the little old lady. The young man picked up a round gray stone. "This stone will make wonderful soup," he said. "Now, get me a pot." The little old lady got a pot. "Fill the pot with water and put it on a fire," the young man said. The little old lady did as she was told, and soon the water was bubbling in the pot. She's putting the water in the pot. He's got a little bird that's with them. The young man put the round gray stone into the pot. "Now, we will wait for the stone to cook into a soup," he said. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup is cooking fast." "It is cooking fast now," said the hungry young man, "but it would cook faster with some onions." So the little old lady went to the garden and she gathered up some yellow onions. There goes the stone soup. Into the pot went the yellow onions with the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup smells good." "It smells good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would smell better with some carrots. There's the little old lady, and she's gathering up some onions and things. So the little old lady went out to the garden and she pulled the carrots, all that she could carry. Into the pot went the long, thin carrots with the yellow onions and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, This soup tastes good. It tastes good now, said the hungry young man, but it would be much better with beef bones. There she is throwing the carrots into the wheelbarrow. And he even knows how to balance on his nose. So the old lady went to get some juicy beef bones. Into the pot went the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. Hi, Dawn. I've got it still showing that it's going, so we're going to go ahead and try to keep it on. It still says it's live, so we'll see what happens. I may have to send it live later. Into the pot went the juicy bones, the long thin carrots, the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, This soup is fit for a prince. It's fit for a prince now, said the hungry young man, but it would be fit for a king with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt. There she is gathering the poor puppy's bones. So the little old lady got the pepper and the salt. It went into a pot It went into the pot with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt with juicy beef bones and long thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. The pot bubbled and bubbled, and after a while the little old lady said, This soup is too thin. See how she's mixing it all up? It is too thin, said the hungry young man, but it would be nice and thick with some butter and some barley. So the little old lady went out to get butter and barley. Into the pot went the butter and barley, with a bit of pepper and a handful of salt, and the juicy beef bones, and the long thin carrots, and the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. There she is. She's churning out the butter. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady tasted the soup again. This is good soup, she said. Yes, said the hungry young man. This soup is fit for a king. Now we will eat it. Stop, said the little old lady. This soup is indeed fit for a king. Now I will set a table fit for a king. So she took out her best tablecloth and her best dishes. Look at all those dishes. Then the little old lady and the hungry young man ate all the soup made from butter and barley, and a bit of pepper and a handful of salt, and the juicy beef bones, and the long thin carrots, and the yellow onions, and the round gray stone. They're all set for dinner. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. Now I must be on my way, said the young man. He took the stone out of the pot and he put it in his pocket. Why are you taking the stone? Said the little old lady. Well, said the young man, the stone is not cooked enough. I will have to cook it some more tomorrow. And the young man said, goodbye. Look at all those dishes that the poor woman is going to have to do. And he is on his way stuffing that stone into his pocket. He walked on down the road. He walked and he walked. What a fine supper I will have tomorrow, he said to himself. Soup from a stone. Fancy that. I don't think I've ever had stone soup. Have you? I hope you're all having a good evening. Sorry, Dawn, about the technical difficulties. It must have been on your end because mine never blanked out. So I'm hoping that maybe we're getting some things worked out. I'm in my office on the island right now, so that may have made the difference also. But I'm glad that you all were here. I'm glad Margie was here, and I'm glad that Stella and Jade and Dawn were here. I hope you enjoyed the story, and just remember, we can always have stone soup. So I will see you on Sunday. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.